I think that there should be like a give us a skip scheme go off in the UK. Like, so that when tenants go to move out of a property, there's a skip that is from a deposit, however much a skip is worth, gets put outside the house, and anything that is rubbish just gets easily thrown into the skip. So it doesn't cost the housing association or private landlord to clean away anything. They automatically have the skip there while you're in the transition of moving house, let's say, and then all your let go belongings just get thrown into the skip,
and they just pick it up,
and then the skip gets picked up, and then it's then out of the house, so someone else can move in pretty quickly, because that's it at the end of the day, isn't it? And then perhaps if they kept it there, well, if you were going to move out on the 23rd, but the skip went there on the 19th and wasn't going to be picked up until the 29th, let's say, and you're leaving on the 23rd, then you would be able to, as a housing association, if there's anything else that you feel is not quite decent enough, flooring, carpet, or different things, also gets chucked into the skip as well. Or if you need to come and do some renovating, or the tiles are a little bit not good, and you knock all of those off, you can also put this into the skip as well. And then that should save you money, because if it was mandatory that all people in Britain, whether they're in private rented or social housing, it's a new law that comes out that everyone is designated a skip. When you're about to move, here's the skip, please throw it away. Because I think that's the thing, that when you've hired a van, you've grabbed this, you're doing that, you're trying to move your stuff in a time limit or different things like that, you haven't always got time to... You always say to yourself at the end of it, yeah, if I get this stuff all moved at this time, I would be able to use the van or device or different things like that to then be able to throw away the stuff. But then when you've got to day 2, and you know the van's cost you a lot to hire it, and another day would just break the piggy bank, let's say, and then it becomes I can do it next month sort of thing, then you know that then it makes it more of time consuming, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for a landlord as well that might already have someone lined up to move into the house.
Yeah.
I think that might make a easier process, really. And hell, doesn't it keep skip companies going?
It does.
So anything that is just not what you need, it just gets chucked there. And it's all there ready and waiting. And I think that might help a voids team as well. If you have that in sort of private rented as well or whatever. And then you know then, don't you, if it's a large skip and it doesn't get filled and sort of stuff like that, you know, then, well, that's a bit of a return on the money. But I wonder if there should be a deposit put down for the skip, the hiring of a skip for when you move out. And then just before you do, it then gets put side a road or something like that, or different things like that. And then, yeah, you can chuck your stuff as you go, can't you? And I think it might make it a bit easier for... just to make that system a little bit more smoother, or to transition from one tenant to rubbish being thrown to new tenants coming. I mean, last tenant didn't fill it quite the way. Do you need a skip? Oh, there's a room in there a little bit more. If you do, chuck it in. It mustn't go over this much. I think that gives the person moving in and the person moving out a bit of an opportunity that perhaps is overlooked in all of that movement, if you like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, could that work? Could that be something that could be introduced into the UK, or a trialled area for that? And would it make, well, landlords' lives a lot easier, landladies' lives a bit easier, housing association, would it make their lives even easier as well? Or is it just adding more muddleness to the situation? But I don't know. It has it all ready then, doesn't it, for the team to go out and, right, this can go in a bin, that can go in, right, let's get on with this, pull this up, move that, throw that out. It's already got somewhere already there, and you don't need to arrange it because it was already arranged for when the tenant moved. And at the end of the day, if the tenant doesn't fill it all the way, which they might, take the mick out of that sort of thing, you know. And then if it goes to the end of the skip at the other side and it's not 100% that bad tat that comes out the other end, bric-a-brac and different things, could this go into charity shops? Could some of the technology in there be recycled perhaps? Could there be metal in there? Could there be some sort of, you know, because I believe that if they're going to throw it away, then there should be in like a term and condition that whatever's in there, value or anyway, belongs to us. We will do what we want to do with that stuff afterwards, even if it is like a fridge that just needed a replacement door, let's say, or a seal. It was decent enough, too good to go in a bin. Then could that go and be tested, corrected, rectified, and then put into a charity shop somewhere? And then some of the money that went into repairing that goes to the repair group, if you like, and some of the money from that, can that not go into the skip hiring and different things like that, or to be redecorated? And if there's metal in there and there's some money returned on the metal, then could that not be put into the housing association, put into the private landlord to be able to get some paints to whitewash the walls or quickly give it a magnolia around? Really helping the next tenants out that are going to come into the building. And then, you know, this keeps a more better process going in this sort of thing, rather than one that is, you know, more detrimental to everybody. It becomes one that's more, well, that's harmonious, really. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but, you know, and then it's a real easy pick at what can be recycled and what can't.
Yeah.
And then it keeps landfill less full, I guess, in those sorts of circumstances. Near enough all rubbish can be recycled. Near enough. And especially with the way the world is moving to recycle a lot of stuff and let's bin it, let's see what we could do with it. Is there something that could be done to perhaps turn, perhaps not the biggest profit in the world, but perhaps more than the covering of the skip, more than the covering of the next set of paint, more than the covering of this and this. Yeah, or at worst case scenario, it could go into a generalized pot that could be dished out to people who have really low income, whether you work or you don't, and you needed to do some decorating or something. This can always generate and go into something more positive from rubbish, just literally rubbish. I think that would be a better way to be in a society. It would work a little bit more, wouldn't it? I don't know, but what's your thought on that? There you are.